member. Commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our overbearing neighbors employ. Why wait 20 years to bring a new product to market when it can be enhancing people's lives now? As a responsible member of society, we allow you to take part in public testing, respecting your right to risk a few side effects. We took what nature heedlessly accepted and falsely rebettered it through
The story of Auntie Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each generation. Spacer's Choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's Choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Auntie Cleo's Darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacer's Chosen.
I'm Jean Turper-Tyler, 6th base person for the Auntie Cleo's Darlings. I cleaved Spacer's Chosen goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that man's grinning face, I want to cleave it in twain. Auntie's Choice! Darlings!
anti-Cleo, and I endorse this message. Attention, valued employees. Auntie here to put...
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Never more content, and never more content.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Please proceed to the lecture hall to request an exception.
Possesses the advanced technology and know-how for the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Go. Please, just leave us. Just leave.
Well, there are many mental refreshments. Acid water is well material. They're on pleasure.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in.
Subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental
Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Placid waters, well-material. Here on Crater is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment posting. It's not a good idea.
Duty of every protected subject to ensure they are operating at efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind them. Refreshment process.
Their zeal
That's why
never
we are
lacked.
all happy and contented.
It's strange how I
and
ended up
others
here,
are not.
leading the cult. If I hadn't started traveling with you, I may have spent my days hunting down the members I thought traitors and never realized it was Dagmar until too late.
Prudence
You may not have
dictates
noticed, but
we
I have a
reject
tendency to be a little
individualism in
impulsive,
all its many
reckless,
forms.
even.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia, Placid Waters Wellnatarium here on Crater is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever. Remember, collective cognitive...
Main evisceration rate.
Hiding and seeking.
At all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability. Those undue attitudes.
Don't make me avenge you. Activated, Commander.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how.
Indicated.
That's why we are all happy and contented. Others are not.
Formal audit of the grounds.
Enemy spotted.
Unspeakable things I'm about to do! Camouflage. Well gone?
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate
As your peerless leader, known for her unparalleled business, I'm going to veer above the occasional frivolity. Sporting match as much as all of you base rank and file. The big rip. Small news from home, but we took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through artificial means. At Auntie's Choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially enhanced existence through the conspicuous consumption of unavoidable embedded chemicals. With Auntie's Choice. An artificial life is a life that's sweeter. Live a life that's sweeter with Auntie's Choice.
I see you're back from the Protectorate's little mind manipulation spa. All their secrets in hand, yes?
Our team at Proprietary Insight Acquisition has been salivating over the potential commercial applications of that process.
First up, excessive corporate malfeasance. The only division that earns us less when they work abroad.
Really? Thought you had more drive, but suppose that's fine.
I, for one, care little for the completion of stretch goals. You managed to avoid being mentally refreshed. That demonstrates considerable pluck and fortitude.
Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology. That will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results. Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They could barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable? That's certainly interesting. Intriguing, even. What else? But still, they keep on marketing it as virtually foolproof, don't they? So much for their vaunted moral high ground, and so much for us exploiting that piece of technology. Oh, good to know, good to know. Excellent. Well, here's your reward, along with something extra for your effort. Too bad about the lead scientist. Converting him would have earned you an above-average payout. All right. For your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete? Oh, finally, a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Ah, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? It's true, the old corporations cared little for the individual, whereas I'd like to see each and every one of our employees rise from the refuse heap, like I did. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. Certain communications have even been exchanged between our ship and the Order's headquarters. You've spoken to the delegates, yes? A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Oh, my security team would never allow it. But a call like this over a secure line should be an acceptable alternative. Of course, Ruth would also need to agree. Perhaps if you were to perform a few useful errands for the Order, you might earn a meeting with her to propose the same. Have Ruth reach out when she's ready to talk, and I'll set up a call on a secure line next door.
Of watching professional athletes. Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our overbearing neighbors employ. Why wait 20 years to bring a new product to market when it can be enhancing people's lives now? As a responsible member of society, we allow you to take part in public product testing, respecting your right to risk a few testy side effects as an early adopter. At Anti-Choice, we understand that the marketplace is
Them wraps all taken care of yet? All good news to me, friend. Anything happens down there is not my responsibility. I have ceased all manner of worry and fret. Here's the unagreed upon amount that constitutes your fee.
The story of Anti-Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's Choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst old corporations who unfairly stack the deck against the little person.
always find I work best when undistracted. One could say I find the cultist at Newton quite the interruption to my focus. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Is the one you first arrived here with among them, I wonder? Rude enough to ask, but one never knows. Here's your reward for a task well completed. You've proven yourself well, but we have recently experienced a pivotally important, unforeseen development. One I must meet directly. Can I count on you? One of the satellites comprising the Hyperion web was struck by a wayward craft and crashed on Paradise Island. I need someone to recover an informational component from it. I hope your zeal is properly placed. The Protectorate soldiers guarding the crash site are unlikely to let you close, unless something else is made to arrest their attention. I cannot say how that might be accomplished, unfortunately. Some of our scholars find answers to their solutions at the CAF integration point. Perhaps you might do the same. Collect the data from the crashed site and return it here. May the odds prevail against your bloody demise.
If it isn't my favorite collaborator. I thought I said we shouldn't be seen together. You did sharpen my pencil, so I suppose sharpening yours is only fair. I'll put in a word with my associates to pass along to whatever Protectorate forces are on site to expect you. It's no guarantee, but at least they won't fire upon you on site. In exchange for my help, however, I want you to bring the data back here so that I can make a copy of it. Before you hand it over to the Order, to be clear. Do we have an accord? We do work well together, don't we? Return here when you have the data. I'll be waiting.
What fortune! Our technician manifests at last. Halt there. You match the description of the technician we have been vigilantly awaiting, but as they say, assumptions made are mistakes readied. Present yourself, so that I may take the measure of you. What? Spare me your technical argot and hop to it then!
People are gonna start to talk. Aren't you reliable? I just need one moment to copy the data. There, all done. Thank you ever so much. Was there anything else you wish to discuss?
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Not by a factor of thousands. You'll have to tell me about your scholastic experiences someday, colleague. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this. But if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Ah, there you are. I was informed by Gertie you've agreed to help us reconvene negotiations. With your aid, Auntie's Choice and the Order will soon be rivals no longer. Just think of all we can accomplish if our two sides reject fractiousness and combine our efforts. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides. Engender trust. Gertie and I will let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now, with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. Faith is trust without evidence. You deserve far more than that. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. But I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Yes, by all reports it was. But the plan evidently has greater outcomes prepared for Vicar Levin. He is, at that. I consider him a close personal friend, and I cannot say that about many. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. I just received the most curious transmission from Auntie Cleo. She wishes to discuss a partnership of sorts, and I heard you were the source of this plot. I must admit I have significant doubts about colluding with an entity like Auntie's Choice. Why should the Order agree to even entertain the possibility?
Simply put, we got the troops, the firepower, and the know-how to beat the Protectorate. Respectfully, I think we both know that your forces can't do that on their own.
Military support loses its usefulness quickly in times of peace. It is that which gives me pause, among other concerns. Levin's methodology is usually faultless, and it would be a pity to scrap so much fine preparatory work. Auntie Cleo has already proposed a secure conference room on board the Undisputed Claim for our use. I will await your arrival there to mediate.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
Oh, hello. Cogitate here often?
Appreciate your facilitations.
Hello? Is anyone there? I have been signaling for help incessantly. Come quickly. I'm trapped in my office. By the foyer. The others, I fear they might have lost their lives at the hands, claws of escaped beasts. Mind yourself.
That's him. That must be the doctor. He's got no idea an entire squad died trying to fly in here and save his sorry ass.
That's assuming he'd care. I'd give that roughly a 1 out of 10 chance.
Ain't getting through that unscathed. Seriously, don't send me in there. Hola, Ortiz? No. No, it ain't him. I thought... Commander, help me make sense of this.
Uh-huh. Now I extra want to kill this scientist.
I had a notion of what I might encounter here. Test tubes, records, some graphs kept on ice, but not this. Law. My heart just about stopped when I saw him. I thought Ortiz had come back, gotten himself in trouble, but... No. This man, whoever he is, he's been dead for a time. That's what I'm figuring. The graft placement and composition look exactly the same. And went wrong exactly the same, I'd reckon. Void, damn it. This poor man. The test subjects. Ortiz. All of them are dead. All of them left in ruin by the butchers running this place. All of them could have been me. That ain't true. It weren't abandonment. It was breakage. I knew what would happen should anything go wrong. It made me a liability. It endangered my unit. I can't blame anyone else when I knowingly accepted the risks. Suppose I've always known something to be true, though. If nobody's privy to what the powerful do behind closed doors, then they can do anything. It's folk like us who pay the price. All that matters now is finding that doctor. He's got a reckoning coming. My aim's steady, if that's your concern. I'm sorry. I'll be fine once we breathe fresh air again. Just need this to be over.
Over here! These beasts have me pinned down! Handle them straight away, please! I cannot let my genius be wasted here!
Void, damn coward. We'll see how you beg when we're face to face.
Optimal use of ammunition.
Is this the cub that Terminal mentioned? Still breathing, but only just. Void. That must be his mama on the other side of the glass. We were too late for the soldier back there, but not too late for this cub. We should help.
unnerve me.
Another maintenance hatch above us, if we're apt to sneak about. What wretched work. Poor creatures ain't got an idea what's in store for them. Wasn't keen on seeing a fight between them.
Perhaps a slyer approach is warranted.
Please. I'm so worried that nobody intercepted my distress signal.
Oh, we got his signal all right. Let's get the bastard.
I'd offer to bet on how this turns out, but I'm afraid the act might throw off my equations.
Yeah. Wasn't a person alive who could best the matriarch Ursapod. Yet, here you are. What a show.
You the doctor in charge here?
Indeed I am, soldier. And my, what a picture you are. What exquisite graft work. Might I trouble you for an examination?
So you're the one who butchered my friend, Ortiz. The one who tortured those creatures out there. Who killed that soldier.
What's going on? I don't know any Ortiz, I swear it. I'm just a doctor. Please, don't shoot. Records? I don't know of any such... Oh, bother. Fine, yes, I did complete a procedure on one Trooper Ortiz, along with 2 others. He eagerly offered himself up for this project's first human trials. Rather hasty in hindsight. I know what you're thinking. Yes, the grafting program was officially shuttered 6 months ago. That was not a lie. But I thought it a shame, and it seems I wasn't alone in that. I was recruited for this unofficial venture soon after. Don't understand the need for secrecy myself, but our sponsor demanded it. I dared not ask too many questions. I've made great medical strides. Ones that could change the world. Law, I've even prototyped a device to stabilize my lungs. Without grafts, this never would have been possible. And I'll have you know that I'm the only doctor who understands such work. The research, the methods, they're all in my head, see? No documentation makes a perfect trademark. It's been a long time coming, but I believe I've laid the groundwork for treating injury and illness far better than modern medicine can manage. We are on the precipice of regrowing limbs that had been lost in accidents, reversing brain trauma, nerve damage, mayhaps aging one day. It would be a boon to humanity, and a boon to Auntie's bottom line.
Don't even start, Commander. I ain't keen on anything this man sells.
Let's not be hasty. I see your graft is a result of revision surgery. Your first go was botched, and you were considered a failure of the program, yes? I know what happened to those failures. Demoted, disgraced. It was horrible business. And yet, you still wear our colors. You want to reclaim your station, don't you?
You don't know anything about what I want. I'm not sure I should. If I accept such a bribe, what does that make me? Whether I want to regain my position or not doesn't matter. I don't want your help. I will not benefit from the pain of others.
You think there were no victims of the first program? That your existence isn't built off the bones of those who came before? You're no more righteous than I. You simply looked away. Now, if you stay your hand, I will grant you 2 state-of-the-art grafting parts. They cannot fail. Install one of them, and you'll see my earnest intent. You were never the broken thing they made you, soldier. If you wish it, you may still become a most extraordinary specimen.
No. Stop talking. Stay there. Don't make any stupid moves, understand? The adults need to have a talk over here. Commander, I don't know what to do. I came here intending to make him pay for what he's done. And I can't shake the reasons I've seen to burn this place to the ground. But what if he's right? What if something in his work is worth saving? What if this is my chance to make something of my life? To be accepted again? I think you have the right of it. You felt that rage with me, Commander, back there in the lab with the soldier. Even now, we can see what could have been. I trust you more than anyone, I think. The fact you're of the same mind only bolsters my inclination. Now, I ain't condoning what happened here. I won't disrespect Ortiz or the other victims as such. But if we continue this research, know that it cannot, must not be like this. We can trust Doc Tinsley to set things right. One can only know goodness if they're led by example. But if this doctor doesn't take direction, we'd only be repeating the cycle. We would be complicit. Fine then. I'll accept whatever consequences may come. It's your lucky day. You'll live. Pack up your things and head straight to Fairfield to Doc Tinsley. You want to continue your work, you'll follow her lead.
Thank you, soldier. Thank you. I won't forget this, I swear. I'll unlock the cases for you now, as promised. Take the graphs you like and let me know how they work out, won't you?
Make no mistake, I ain't doing this for my own gain. If you say you can help other folk, you best deliver on that promise. Let's get out of here before I change my mind.
Looks like a fight!
Mechanist Tate speaking. I need the record to show that I have reported many times that these pressure valves have fallen into disrepair, only to be ignored each of those times. And now I'm out here in the voided cold, attempting to stop this leak from getting worse, and... What was that? Stay back, creature! Blast that doctor for locking the catcher in the gun safe! This is when I
Hope he got a refund on his Raptidon repellent.
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's choice.
Ever wonder if our assignment here will never end? Like, our employment contracts will just keep renewing.
Told my manager, a man is not a slice of nana, Mr. Overby. Then I said, I am more than some commonplace. Yeah!
Ah, Inez. Have you come back for a tune-up? I've got just the injection for that. Freezes those pesky muscles right back into place.
No, yeah, a tune-up sounds good. I actually brought a few other grafting parts with me, if you reckon my arm can handle a stitch or two.
Oh, these are pristine indeed. Is this of an ursopod? My, I haven't seen one of those in many years. Oh, and a mantis swarm hive? The hunting must be good wherever you ran off to.
Yeah, you could say that. Since Doc's given her blessing, which do you reckon I go with? The ursopod's mucus gland could absorb some incoming damage, if you don't mind getting a little sticky. The mantis swarm hive, however, would be best for crowd control. Say the word, and I'll sick these little guys on any enemy in our vicinity. I'm intrigued by either option, really. Hive it is. Just refrain from any buzzing jokes.
Oh, the mantis swarm is a wonderful choice. Hold still, dear. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-ups in the near future. But I do trust you'll find an excuse to come by for the occasional visit. By the by, where did you find these parts? What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know.
There's a grafting lab way out on Cloister that was still operational. Till recently. I found it, Doc. And... Law. I ain't seen any horrors like that.
Still operating? Inez, do you feel all right? The program was shut down more than 6 months ago. Any further funding would be in direct violation of Auntie's orders.
I know what I saw. They were brutalizing folk and creatures. Paying them no mind, giving them no honor, even if they succumb to the process. The doctor there, he killed a friend of mine. And you're telling me you knew nothing of it?
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds... Oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would protest with every breath.
The creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages, killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? Keeping a dead soldier's body on display. Like a thing. I found the doctor in charge, still alive. We spoke briefly, and I allowed him to live. On the condition that he redeems himself and uses his research for good.
But this ain't the extent of it, I fear. I need to find out who's responsible for all this.
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, it would be awfully difficult to ascertain which individual has the pockets to fund such a... Wait. Yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent a message asking for my presence and scientific expertise to discuss a unique opportunity. I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery. His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very man who was in charge of the grafting program at its inception. He's... Oh, I know that look. If you mean to do something, I beg you.
I just mean to have a little chat. I will be asking Willard to reform the grafting program. You heard from Dr. Rasmussen, right? I spared him and his research for this purpose. If there's good to be had from the program, then Willard needs to invest in that good. And you're my first choice to lead the new program.
You honor me. I did receive a message from a Rasmussen, yes. He is on his way with research to hand over to me. But I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the Undisputed Claim, the flagship of Auntie's Choice. I do not know where exactly, as I've never been, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card to gain entry. Inez, what you are doing is noble, and I wish you the greatest of successes.
Thank you, Doc. Now, You get those grafting tools ready, because I ain't intending to fail. Commander, I've been thinking. Can I bend your ear a moment? We got the intel we need, Commander. The undisputed claims our destination. If we find this Willard and convince him to use this grafting research for folks' betterment, well then, all this hurt we've seen will have counted for something. Been doing some thinking about what happened in the lab. I went there to kill that man for what he did to Ortiz, and instead, let him walk away with his research. Didn't realize till I saw the lab what a fool I was. All for thinking that company folk gave a damn about each other. Even so, I still reckon we got a real shot of making things better. Auntie's Choice can't be trusted on their own with this research, that's clear. But if someone like me were to guide them, maybe they can be shaped into what I thought they were. If they could actually help folk like they claimed they would when they liberated Tau Ceti, it'd make life better for anyone. Elsewise, there'll only be more victims in their wake. Ain't just saying that, are you? Ortiz sent me a message because he knew I would take action, that I'd remedy the betrayal both of us faced. If he were here now, he'd understand, I think. Are you with me? Thanks, Commander. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, I wouldn't be here. Maybe proving myself was never the intention. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Let's just see what Willard's got to say, all right?
Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship this, but because of the system's glorious efficacy, while the Protectorate decide what its subjects get. Through your decisions as consumers. We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through artificial means. At Auntie's Choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially enhanced existence through the conspicuous consumption of unavoidable embedded chemicals. With Auntie's Choice. An artificial life is a life that's sweeter. Live a life that's sweeter with Auntie's Choice.
appreciate you handling our dirty work.
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days, and already productivity is tanked by 149.4%. You want the role, it's yours, but I'm not budging on those hourly rates.
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who work with him on Cloister lying cold on the lab floor?
Both, obviously. Unless you mean to tell me a graft like yours can install itself. Now, do you want the job or not? We're burning starlight. Decent? I'll have you know that profits were forecast to be in the billions in my assessment last quarter.
That's not what we're talking about. Look, we found your lab on Cloister. A friend of mine who succumbed to his graft sent me there to put an end to your work. It was, well, it was damn troubling. But after speaking with your doc, I came to see that the program's got much potential. If we shift focus, reform our work, grafts could better the lives for all folk. Rasmussen's now with Doc Tinsley in Fairfield, and they're ready to restart this work if we can get your agreement. No more killing, much more progress. What do you say?
I see someone failed out of the anti-Cleo School of Persuasion. Why would I ever pursue something so dull as reform? How does it serve me?
Troopers are getting maimed in battle, and many civvies are getting sick from lack of food, clean water. Folk feel helpless. Grafts could treat all that. Some creatures can regrow limbs and safely consume tainted goods. If we give folk those same abilities, they won't have anything to fear. They can heal from all the wars done to them.
Ah, I see now. With grafts, our employees can get back to work faster and for longer hours. You might have led with that. It's brilliant. But there is one small fly in the soup. Who exactly are you to dictate to me what we should be doing? I did not even know your name before you stepped through this door.
When I joined up in Tau Ceti, I was promised that if I proved myself, demonstrated exceptionalism, the moment would come where I could make a pitch for my own future. I helped hunt down the fiend who destroyed our base on Golden Ridge, fought off countless Protectorate besides. So yeah, I'd say the moment I'm owed has arrived.
Fine. Perhaps there is an opportunity here to expand our user base. But we can only pursue such a thing if we secure the funding. I could approach my business partner to this end, but I will require proof that this little reformation of yours is a viable investment. As such, you need to prove that a grafted trooper can achieve what the average one cannot.
You say that as though you have something in mind.
I do. The commander of our fortified position on Praetor has been chomping at the bit for a show of force, to rally the troops in our market share, so to speak. He will have all the minute details, of course, but assisting him and demonstrating your prowess will give us the leverage we need. I could tell you possessed a modicum of business sense. Head to Praetor. I'll send a reporter with camera drones to meet you there and debrief with our ground forces.
Hold on. You didn't say anything about this being filmed.
Heroism is nothing without exciting footage and a talking head to sell it to the masses. So do make sure you put on a good show. Off you go, then.
The story of Auntie Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Auntie Cleo's Darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacer's Chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer-Tyler, 6th base person for the Auntie Cleo's Darlings. I cleaned Spacer's Chosen's goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game.
Antibiotic.
I want to cleave it in twain. Auntie's Choice! Darlings! We won! Hostile takeover this! Right back at you!
I'm Auntie Cleo, and I endorse this message. Attention valued.
That reporter's gotta be nearby.
I'm Orland Crawford, the outsourced but never outmatched wartime correspondent for the ACS Undisputed Claim. You must be the grafted soldier, here to show us all what you can do.
The name's Inez, and yes, Willard Conan sent me to help you with some sort of... I don't know what, exactly.
Now, let's not skip on introductions. Who is this you have with you?
You could say that the teacher has become a student of a cold, harsh world.
The soldier and the bookworm. Not the most compelling of partnerships, but it may work out.
Never seen a grafted trooper in action before, but I'm looking forward to watching you work. Your mission, Trooper, is to capture the Protectorate blockade to the north. Their defenses are too great to face head-on, so you'll want to sneak in through the back entrance. We've obtained the entry codes through great effort.
My camera drones will be filming the action from above, so do put on a good show. Blow up a few things, and use Inez's abilities to demonstrate the might of Auntie's Choice. Yes?
They've detained several of our scouts. I'd like to see them returned. If you deliver this weapons cache to them and free them, they might offer some aid in the fight.
This is quite the opportunity. Normally, a POW might be written off as shrinkage, an unfortunate, unavoidable loss. But their rescue will be worth far more in publicity.
So what? If I hadn't come along, you all would have left those troopers to rot.
Our motto is to leave no man behind, unless it breaches our contract and promises financial penalties, which this does. Now, take these codes for the back door and go.
Once you infiltrate the blockade, neutralize our foes, and open the gates, our remaining troops will move in to secure the blockade for ourselves. Any questions? That's the spirit. Oh, I look forward to seeing you take the fight to those fiends. It's about time Auntie gave them a good walloping. Ooh, and spare some time for me after you emerge victorious, won't you? What am I saying? Of course you will. Who wouldn't want to be interviewed for the wireless? Go on now.
Here we are, about to kick the proverbial mantisaur nest. Hope you're ready for your close-up. Damn. Of course they got a bunker mech. We need to take it by surprise, without alerting the other troopers, mind.
Got my lamps on a hostage.
Frankly, pissed off.
Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it.
Target reacquire. Carefully reloading.
Recharging as fast as I can, Commander.
Popping that claw. Alas, it's not charged. Torpification in progress. Vitals critical. Don't become a statistic, Commander. Commander, your essential personnel. Reviving me is strategically optimal.
here we are, about to kick the proverbial mantisaur nest. Hope you're ready for your close-up. Damn. Of course they got a bunker mech. We need to take it by surprise, without alerting the other troopers, mind.
Rough customers of
Over here! Let us out!
Knock off the funny business. Fake law. I thought we'd be trapped in here forever.
Hey, tell me you've got a plan to deal with these guys. Takes all sorts.
Stop that scrounging around.
Perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry.
You there! Yeah! State your business! It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure...
Forever vigilant.
Can't be too far, I bet. Lollygag somewhere I ain't. Forever
Aborting
vigilant.
search.
Forever free. Back to it. This paradigm we serve.
My aftermarket parts are
Passenger. Hate to ask for help, but help?
None shall hide from us.
Yeah!
Pouring back. Contact
Suffered extensive damage, Commander.
restoring back.
Taking the fight out of them. Mitigating the threat.
There you are.
Consider self-preservation a priority. Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized. Vitals critical. Don't become a statistic. You're more effective when you're not dead. Medic, please.
Contact lost. Seeking cover. Maintaining perfect. Flush them out.
The Protectorate endures.
Looks like they vanished. Restoring the
It's a brawl. No escaping. Anyone else? Here, a medic?
Anybody see him?
Standing by to stupefy. Commander!
Pick me up.
In shelter. The Protectorate endures.
Reviving me is strategically optimal.
My vexation grows as this drags on.
Thank you, dear.
There's scrutiny. Disruptive influences. Action item.
It is a privilege
To die for the cause.
Hello?
Let me
Reprobate.
handle this.
Taking cover.
Another ass kicking for the history books. Let's open the gate for that reporter and the troops before these bodies get cold.
Over here! Let's have a word with the hero of the moment for the wireless. Well, the blockade is certainly ours now, but that was hardly more impressive than any other raid in this law-forsaken colony. I'm afraid my drones didn't get what we needed them to.
That hasn't stopped you lot from
Aggressors in range.
Appreciate if you cleared out. Dictates. Eye your neighbors carefully. Giving chase. Back to it.
Dictates we must trust our community. It's only...
Refilling my... Damn it!
Craft ain't ready! Craft's still recharging! Not quite charged yet!
Perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible. Life's a thing of symmetry.
Hence, a formal audit of the grounds.
Recharging as fast as it can, Commander!
Locking them down, mitigating the threat.
Craft's still a bit sleepy. Recharging as fast as it can, Commander! Craft's still recharging. Craft ain't ready. Not quite charged yet.
And a Donnybrook ensues.
Forever vigilant.
Suffered extensively. Reviving me is in everyone's best interests.
For our beneficent leader. Replacing my firearm. Moving to safety.
Help me end this fight on my feet!
Thank you. Capacitor use vitals critical. Reviving me is strategically optimal.
Giving chase.
Quarry found.
We shall stay their ambitions.
Hastening to cover.
Best reload. The Protectorate endures.
Back in business! Graft's back in business. Graft doesn't...
Lost track of them. Beware of push.
Graft's still a bit sleepy. Pop in my claw. Always crabby. Another ass-kicking for the history books. Let's open the gate for that reporter and the troops before these bodies get cold.
Over here! Let's have a word with the hero of the moment for the wireless. What a show! Auntie will be beside herself when she hears of her shiny new blockade. If you weren't already contracted with Willard, I'd think to hire you for the next news staging.
All in a day's work. You said something about an interview. Well, I got a lot riding on this. You'll make me look good, right?
It's audio only, Trooper. And you're working with a true professional now. Let me work, huh? Relax. Be authentically you, though you'd be wise to throw in a tagline or two. Ready?
Well,
Great! Recording's already begun. I'm here, live at the scene with the fearsome grafted soldier Inez. It's a shame you cannot see this, dear listener, for it is impressive indeed. Inez, your destruction of those dastardly protectorate troops was awe-inspiring. You must feel like the employee of the month, having brought such a decisive victory to Auntie's choice.
I'm just, doing my part. I joined up because I believed in our mission, to liberate Arcadia. Reckon my actions illustrate that more than anything I could ever say. I ain't sure what else to say. What does the audience want to hear exactly?
They want to hear sordid details, but not so sordid that it'll staunch their worst buying habits. Now focus and don't fret. We'll clean this up in post. Dear audience, the voice you just heard is that of the soldier's close associate, an eyewitness to the battle and the marvelous carnage littering the land. You also freed some of our troopers from the Protectorate's fiendish grasp. One can only imagine the torture they suffered. Tell us about it. The rescue, in detail if you would.
Look, I did what anyone with an ounce of sense would do. Ain't gonna leave one of my own in such a state. And if I had it my way, I would have acted sooner.
Oh, my! So the reports were true. A limb can be replaced, yes, but to hear that they are now immune to the joy that Auntie brings is quite horrifying.
It's something, all right. They were, certainly malnourished and bored. Suppose things may have gotten worse with time.
In any case, those soldiers can finally return to their postings again. Now, I have a question about your abilities, Inez. What sets a trooper like you apart from the rest?
These grafts make me stronger. Good in a bind. I know I'm a bit of a curiosity. Ain't too many of us left. but there is so much good we can do with grafting, if we try. What? When in the void have you ever seen me kick anything?
I appreciate the enthusiasm, but unfortunately the proof of such a feat, or lack thereof, is in the grainy drone footage. Before we wrap, have you anything else of note to tell our undoubtedly enraptured audience?
Oh, I got one. Ain't just a tested and true product that'll put you over the top. A graft like mine might also get you into orbit.
Ah, I see. A bit of cheeky product placement for zero-G whiskey. Very well done, you. And that's a wrap. You can go back to slouching or sneering or whatever else it is you do. I regularly forget that the common folk just aren't as effervescent as I am when in front of a microphone. You were somewhat passable. The answers were more disjointed than I would have liked. Might be a tough sell for the broadcast.
Damn. I knew we didn't exactly nail it, but I was hoping some editing might help. We ought to head back to Willard, try to butter him up some.
You do that, and I will remain here burdened by the drudgery of war. Farewell.
Purchase and consume with Ant. The story of Auntie Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Auntie Cleo's Darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacers Chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer-Tyler, 6th base person for the Auntie Cleo's Darlings. I cleaned Spacers Chosen's goalie at the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that Moon Man's grinning face, I want to cleave it in twain. Auntie's choice! Darlings! 3, 1!
Ah, so the conquering heroes have returned from the blockade. And by the law, what footage! I have never been so thrilled and appalled by sheer brutality in all my days. You certainly know your way around a soon-to-be dead body, huh? Oh, where are my manners? Commander, Inez, meet our new benefactor. This is the business partner I spoke to you about, and she has graciously agreed to fund our new venture.
Yes, we've met. Now, let's not get overly ahead of ourselves. Excitement and carnage is one thing. Well, that is, there are two things, but taken as a whole. Proving to be an advertising darling is quite another matter entirely.
Yes. And your interview may be good for entertainment, if nothing else. If you are indeed as inebriated as I suspect, one could hardly blame you for celebrating such a victory.
It didn't make for the best showing, but I have a professional hunch about you, Inez. I'm willing to give you a brief trial run to see how it goes.
Look, I know I ain't exactly the profile of a business partner, but I know medicine, and I know the potential of grafts more than anyone. You'll not find my experience anywhere.
Perhaps so, but unfortunately I can't be expected to simply take your word for it. You know how it is. Low-level workers have a certain flair for lying and grifting, whilst concurrently exaggerating all accomplishments and ills.
But we can trust your word as her current supervisor. What sort of performance review might you give this associate?
Well, it's easy to go on soldiering when you trust the one giving the orders.
That's a reasonable endorsement. Wouldn't fit in the one-line write-in space for her quarterly appraisal, but I suppose you couldn't know.
So we have a deal then? I admit that the raid and the interview may not have gone as swimmingly as I would have liked, but there is something there.
Suppose I can make good on the funding after all. We'll see in time where this arrangement leaves us. In any case, good day.
So that's it. We're clear to restart the grafting program. And you'll abide by my demands. No more senseless killing. No more hurting folk.
Of course not. Unless said folk agree to it. Yes, we are at an agreement. Consider this a bonus for your efforts. When the time is right, I will reach out to you for further planning. You have been instrumental, soldier. Inez, well done indeed. Afraid not. Farewell.
From pop guns to self-propelled
Can't tell
cannons,
the difference between
Concealment? Then you need... Good set of armor before someone succeeds in ventilating you.
Be any malfeasance. arbitration. Quite the fit. Down 14% in net growth. You're supposed to squeeze blood from every contract, not put us in the red. Learn to negotiate. Xeno... Biological exploitation's output is down 18%. I'm not paying professional hunters to run a petting zoo. Acquire and exploit the local fauna like it's your life's work. I get it. Between the rifts, aggressive rivals, and the actions of maverick freelancers, there's a... Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our overbearing neighbors employ. Why wait 20 years to bring a new product to market when it can be enhancing people's lives now? As a responsible member of society, we take respecting your right to risk a few pesky side effects as an early adopter. At Auntie's Choice, we understand that the marketplace is dynamic, efficient, and well-suited to the shifting needs of our populace. After all, that's what unbridled freedom's all about.
The story of Anti-Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation.
Have time for a chat, Commander? Willard, Vice President Conan, sent me a message just now about how the investment meeting went. Seems he showed off the footage from the blockade, interview and all, and they all agreed to fund the grafting program and start it up again in earnest. I think we actually pulled this off, Commander. They even thought to bring me into middle management for the program. Can you believe it? After you and I finish what we set out to do for Arcadia, of course. I'd say closing these rifts take priority over a career change. I'm realizing now that I never really imagined something like this was possible after ending my contract like that. Never thought I'd be at the forefront of a military campaign. Never thought I'd be able to change much about Auntie's Choice, let alone that I'd want to. But here I am. Reckon you could say I proved myself after all. Thank you, Commander, for everything. Anyhow, that's enough sorting my thoughts for the moment. We got a galaxy to save.
has the Auntie's Choice logo on it. Oh, architect preserve us.
Damn Aunties and their propaganda. Take this, you piece of poorly designed refuse!
This seems rather extreme. Are you sure?
As I already stated, the weather has iced over the bolts. They require the application of concussive force.
Disconcerting.
Gun weapon ready, Commander.
Protocols not yet charged. Emergency
Come out. Changing magazine. High-end in short order. Tory found. Maintaining perfection. Moving to safety.
Restoring safety to baseline modifiers.
Just the plan.
Commencing combat-related activities.
Please release us. They always come from that big building across the street before they open the gate. They must leave a key in there.
Yeah!
It's clear. Go, go, go!